Hello everybody, I am Adit Chali, Senior Assistant Editor with VC Circle, and I have with me Shantanu, who's the co-founder and CEO of Ziffi. Ziffi is an online marketplace for wellness and beauty services. Hello Shantanu, how are you doing today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for coming to our healthcare summit. Hope you had a good time
Amazing, yeah.
networking
Amazing
and
people, amazing
yeah.
discussions. Yeah.
So you were a part of a very interesting panel, on the future of, some of the services, that are delivered, some of the healthcare services that are delivered using online platforms.
Yeah.
And some very interesting points came up in the discussion. There were talk about, what is the per acquisition cost, what kind of acquisition costs, companies like you have to deal with. To start off with, I was very intrigued with one of the comments that you made during the panel.
Yeah.
You said that in the last 2 to 3 months, the number of transactions on
Yeah.
the Ziffi platform has gone up to almost 500,000.
500,000
Right.
transactions,
So
yes.
if you can just throw some light on that and what's been the key drivers and which
Sure.
areas you're seeing maximum growth.
So, we launched our consumer application sometime in the month of May.
Right.
And since that time, the transactions actually started skyrocketing.
Okay.
On a week-to-week basis, we were seeing immense amount of growth. So since May till say September, we booked over 500,000 appointments.
I see.
And largely being driven through the beauty segment.
Okay.
4 cities: Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore. Pune is the recent addition that we did.
Okay.
But largely appointments are coming from these 4 cities.
I see.
I think the growth has largely come because we made it super simple for people to now book appointments at the stylist level.
Okay.
There wasn't a service that would actually give you appointment at that detail that you've got a favorite stylist.
Sure.
You can pick a time and then book an appointment. That has been the largest driver. More than discovery, it is the ease of booking which is kind of driving that growth.
Interesting. But you, at this point, you still don't enable an online transaction, right? I mean, I can book the service, but you can't pay for it right away. Is that going to be the future?
No. So we still have option that the end customer can have a complete cashless transaction at the salon or spa. So you can pay online on the app using the wallet.
Okay.
Which means that you don't have to pay anything at all. You can walk into a salon, get a good massage done, come
Right.
out without even
Okay.
interacting with the receptionist practically. So that is also happening. People are paying online
Okay.
because they also tend to enjoy those loyalty and rewards that those salons and spas are running through a platform.
Sure.
And that makes the entire job super simple for the end customer to really go about getting things done.
Absolutely.
So that is also happening.
One of the panelists did mention that, the acquisition costs in some of these online businesses follows some sort of a curvaceous path. I mean, first getting that first customer is generally very tough, and then after that things even out. But then getting the last leg is again where your acquisition costs go up.
Right.
So, at the stage that Ziffi is in your life cycle as a company, where do you see acquisition costs?
So there are two sides of it. One is the supplier side, which is the providers, salons, spas, and so on and so on. And then there's the consumer side. Now, salon spas, acquisition of them is a fairly straightforward way where we have our feet on street. They go
Right.
tie up with them. And since these guys have been largely untouched so far, uncorrupted, if I can use that word, it is fairly simple for us to make them understand the value that we deliver and then get them on board. So it's a fairly straightforward process. Acquisition cost would be hardly a few hundred rupees per salon and spa acquisition. On the consumer side, the trajectory has been an amazing chart to see.
Okay.
Before we launched the application, we were spending a huge amount of money in customer acquisition. Well, not as much as e-com companies like bigger companies spend, but still it was on a higher side.
Right.
But since the time we launched the application, since the entire growth happened because of the virality and referral coming from the existing users, the acquisition cost dropped to a very, very low number. So it's less than 200 rupees per user that we are spending right now in acquiring customers, while growing the growth to, I think now in terms of daily bookings, we should be the biggest in the beauty segment.
I see.
By a large margin.
Okay.
So I think what has really helped is creating a mobile strategy which is based on virality, which is based on a referral.
Okay.
And a large part is because the providers, salons and spas are actually promoting us in front of their customer base, saying
I
that you
see.
should use Ziffi to book appointments because it makes their life also simple and more profitable.
So in addition to say the saloons and spas and also the medical, you also cater to doctors in
Yes.
some way. So are you looking at adding more more service place, so as to speak?
So it's an exciting space for us. Eventually, what we want to do is, establish Ziffi as the de facto place for all wellness and beauty services.
Okay.
The current focus is on beauty. That's what we are building up on.
Sure.
Within beauty, we are also piloting home services model,
Okay.
and that model is being tested out with certain curated players who are in the business. So we are not directly doing home services. We are again going ahead with a curated marketplace model for home services. So there are a lot of good providers who provide home services.
Okay.
We are enabling them to do a better job, reach out to more customers, and for customers that is kind of closing the gap with good service, backed by Ziffi support.
Can you give an anecdotal example of how this would work?
For home services, for example, we are working with Bellita.
Okay.
Now, Bellita has a very strong, stylist base through which they enable home services.
Sure.
Now, we are enabling those stylists with our platform, which can actually get them more customers. At the same time, use our platform to streamline the entire flow of booking to delivery,
Okay.
and ensure that the customer has a very streamlined, comfortable experience of getting that service done from booking to actually getting that facial or a massage taken.
Right.
So that is what is being powered through Ziffi. Similarly, there are other players in other regions through which we are kind of delivering that value
Okay.
to other parts of the city and also in other cities.
Right. So from 500 transactions, say about 6 months or a year back, you are now at
No,
around
just
7,000 transactions.
we were talking about April, and May is when we launched the app.
Right.
Right, so last just 4 months, this has kind of skyrocketed to the
Okay.
place
Do
where
you have
we
a
are in.
target in mind? What is the sweet spot like in terms of daily transactions?
Well, yeah, so not in terms of specific number, but the point is that we want to grow to about 20 more cities in next 4 to 5 quarters.
Okay.
We want to make sure that equal number of salons, spas, stylists in these cities also get added to the platform.
Sure.
So supplier side, we want to again grow to about 50,000 suppliers or so in coming quarters.
Okay.
In terms of the GMV, in terms of booking, we want to get to about 20 times of where we are in next say about 4 quarters, and we are in the runway to get there.
Okay.
So what we are really doing is making sure that the end service which is being delivered is of high quality.
Okay.
A lot of addition will happen on the technology aspect as well as we go forward. So technology platform has to get more powerful, more robust in coming months. So that is the focus area.
So eventually, would you also work with some of these some of these service providers to tailor, their offerings and an OYO sort of model? Is that where you look at where you give some value addition and help them, with to better their services to us?
So for the providers, we actually are delivering a lot of value.
Okay.
For them, we are kind of powering their entire backend engine. We are giving them tools through which they can know which customer spends how much, how can they optimize the revenue that they are earning from each customer.
Is it part of the same app?
It is part of the provider application that we anyways provide. They through the app they could manage all their bookings, all their repeat customers. They could run their loyalty and reward programs. So that is the big thing that is making these providers come to us in loads. The first value that they see is an app which makes their life super simple in running their own business.
Right.
The second is getting more business on top of what they're making.
Sure.
And these are the two big reasons why these people are now coming and joining Ziffi in big time.
Interesting. So you were out in the market looking for Series B funding. If you can tell us an update on what's happening on that front.
So we've got some good response. So we've not yet closed it. I think we are in discussions, and I think very soon I will be able to share some good news with
10
you
to 12 million is what you were looking at.
So that number, frankly, is a variable number depending upon who comes in, how much we intend to raise, depending on what valuations we are getting. The number could change here and there. But yeah, I think very soon, in a few weeks of time, we should be closing in the next round.
Interesting. Would you also use these proceeds to look at some sort of inorganic growth?
Inorganic growth, not immediately in next 4. 4 quarters.
Okay.
We will focus on establishing the technology stronger, making the product sharper,
Right.
and growing organically. For not for next 3 to 4 quarters, we're not looking at any acquisition or of sorts.
Okay. Sounds good, Shantanu.
Cool.
Thank you so much for your time.
Nice meeting you. Thanks.